Big boys, big game. It is Werder Bremen against Bayern Munich. Yes, guys, we are live at the perfect time, and what a night it is to remember because it is the second league where Bayern are going to face Werder Bremen, and that too. Talking about this game, it is going to be at the Allianz Arena. This game is really going to take the knocks out of the Bundesliga because Bayern on the table, if we talk about precise, just look at it. It is Bayern who has got those 20 matches and 51 points, whereas the likes of Werder Bremen, they are at the 8th spot. But there is something to be much precise because this is the 116th meeting between Bayern and that is the likes of Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga. This is the most playable fixture in the Bundesliga. Oh my God. The Borussia Mönchengladbach have got 28 versus Werder has got the likes of 27. That is, and in the last 30 league meetings, that is a straight win for Bayern in most of the games with 51 points in the 20 games which Bayern have played with the best Bundesliga season. 53 points in 2015 was the last season where Bayern was. I mean, these insights are mesmerizing because Pep Guardiola was that man in the season 2015 where Bayern were doing it good. But in the Champions League, to talk about under Vincent Company, are Bayern going to do it in the next fixtures? It is Celtic whom they have to face. But Vincent Company has made his both the eyes straight for this game in the Bundesliga. In the pre-match press conference, he also said that this game against Werder Bremen, they are going to make it big because the previous leg, it was a big win for Bayern where they have got those 5 goals. It was Mikel Olise on the 23rd minute and 68th minute getting those 2 goals in the previous leg. This season, Jamal Musiala, Harry Kane and Serge Gnabry were the players. I mean, it was the start of the season with just few matches where Werder Bremen and Bayern were facing. That was the home for Werder. But Bayern's Kim Min-jae and teammates, they had a good gameplay that. But Mikel Olise was that player who had scored. What is that going to be today? Because FC Bayern have won more consecutive Bundesliga games because the previous season it was Leverkusen dethroning them from their consecutive wins. This season, to talk about the Leverkusen, they are at the second spot and 6 points behind Leverkusen. This season also, it is Bayern who have scored the least. I mean, just 19 goals which Bayern has considered. If in the previous match that wasn't the 3 goals which were incoming for Bayern, it would have been just 16 goals, but they have scored 62 goals. Oh my God, that is big. That is a big number talking for Vincent Company and Bayern doing so good in the Bundesliga this season. In the Champions League, will that go for a long run or not? That is a big question from Vincent Company because his project of the 3 years he is going to stay at Bayern. Will that be happening or not? Because to talk about the next insight, it is Bayern who have scored 62 goals, the most in the 20 Bundesliga games, and Bayern themselves have ever baffled the tally of 65 goals in 2021-22. That was the highest. I mean, what is that going to happen? Is the new company is going to bring more companies because in the lineups for Bayern Munich just have a big aspect watching into it because none other than it is the likes of their striker Harry Kane who is on the striking positions. Musiala is good. Coman on the left wings. Previous game it was Gnabry and Olise starting it. Coman was there in some injuries, but for this leg it is Kingsley Coman who has been picked up and Olise. It is Vincent Company who is sticking to Coman and Olise most of the times. But now Musiala is in the first lineup. Pavlovic and Kimmich, the absence of Pelina and Goretzka is not much for Vincent Company this season. What is he cooking? But on the left backs, it is that same old Guerrero we are boasting of for a long time. What is that going to be happening or not? Because it is Alphonso Davies who is under injuries. And to talk about Alphonso Davies, he is on a hamstring injury and In the month of February, there are no expectations that Davis will be back in the squad. Whereas it is the two center back pairings again, it is Kim Min Jae and Upamecano. No presence of Eric Dyer as well as back from loan and back from injuries. Stanisic is also not there. But on the right backs, Sacha Boey, who is back from those injury stints, is seen. Sacha Boey is seen on the right backs on the first lineup of Vincent Company. It hasn't happened much. Boy was back from injuries in the month of December. He was picked up, but he went back again to those injury prones. It is now Boy who is back. He has to prove because it is the past 2 seasons Boy has been at the Alliance, at the Bayern, at the Bavaria, but his character hasn't been shown that critical to be in the first lineup for most of the times. But it is that legendary Manuel Neuer. He is going to stay at the goalkeeping positions because Daniel Peretz not available because of those abdominal injuries. But the new signing, Jonas Urbik, will he be the new feature? I mean, Ulrich as well as the likes of Neuer, they are going to take those departures. Neuer has got one extension, 1 year extension, and as well Alphonso Davies has got those signings up to 2030. And the rumor mills of Alphonso Davies going to the likes of, Real Madrid hasn't been that. It hasn't been looking that to it. And to talk more about it, from the lineups of Werder Bremen, it is their striker Stage who is going to cause those damages. Stage is that man who is really going to cause those damages. He is that man who is known for causing those damages. Ninja and Dukes, can he make those? But for Patrick Kohlmann, is that going to be the another aspect? Because the managerial change at Werder Bremen, that will be another thing to watch. But we will be having the watch of FC Bayern against the likes of Werder Bremen here, and along with that there is also the FA Cup round 4 where Manchester United and Leicester City are also facing. The game for Bayern and the likes of Werder Bremen has just started, and yes, you guys can have a vote on the chat. It is a poll which has been conducted where the Douchemister, are they going to get those big wins? Werder Bremen, are they going to cause some sort of setbacks? Manchester United, are they going to get it big against Van Nistelrooy's Leicester City? Or it is Van Nistelrooy who are going to get those defeats? For Ruben Amorim, the two aspects we will be watching, as well as the likes of PSG and Monaco on these scorelines in the main panel, and it is the likes of Porto and Sporting CP happening on the screen. You can get the links, join our social media platform to get the watch links over there. It has been just pinned on the chat section as well as in the video section. It is Kimmich. He has got those free kicks. He goes for those curls. That was a header. Man, Harry Kane got that opportunity in just 1 minute of the gameplay. That was a big opportunity. Harry Kane, he is the man on the picture who can be seen most of the times. Can they do it, boys? Can they do it or not? That is another big aspect which is happening on here. But let us have a look of the lineups for both the teams just compact on the screen. That will look good. Here it is. The match ongoing between the likes of Bayern as well as the likes of Werder. Those of you who could have the watch of the lineups, we had a discussion of it. That man, Kuhn as well as Stage, they both are dangerous. They both are dangerous. They both can cause those damages. Both Kuhn as well as the likes of Stage, they can cause those damages. It can happen anytime. But to talk about this game, in the previous leg, it was Bayern getting those 5 goals victory. And that was something big which Bayern has caused. That was something big. But in the previous lineup to talk about, just look at it. It was Olise scoring twice, but it was the likes of Schmidt as well as Dukes and Gruel in the starting lineups. Harry Kane got a goal, Musiala got, Olise got 2 goals. Gnabry on the substitution got 2 goals. The same lineup which Company was playing in the previous leg, apart from the likes of Davis and Lima on those sweeper backs. That is the absence. It is now Guerrero and the likes of Sacha Boy staying on those sweeper packs. Menje Kim, Upamecano, but it was as well Ulrich in the starting lineup. It is Neuer. So three changes in the previous leg, which was seen. And in this leg, to talk about, this is all which is happening. This is all which is happening. Manuel Neuer into the squad because in the previous leg, he was in injuries. And in this, Davis on injuries. But Stanisic not picked up on the first lineup. It is Sacha Boy who has been given those playmaking opportunities. Can he make those differences? Can he make those differences in the Bundesliga table? Can Sacha Boy make those differences? We need those sweeper back positions good in the team. We need those sweeper back positions really good in the team. The game is underway over here at Alliance, and most of the position which is with the Bayern over here. But Vincent Company and his men, are they going to get it big? And yes, you can give your votes on the chat section about the Duismister, the poll which has been over there, whether they are going to get those big wins, or is it the Werder Bremen? Are they going to cause any sort of mishappenings? Can they make it, boys? Can they make it happen? Because at the 9th spot, it is Werder who are staying so good. Werder in this season at the 9th spot, they are doing it so good. But talking about the previous meetings, I mean, between Bayern and the likes of Werder Bremen, 28 wins for Bayern, 3 draws and 1 for Werder Bremen. It is a one-sided game, and yes, most of that is going to happen for Bayern in this, because 88% of the bookmakers are just in favor of Bayern, whereas 8% for a draw and 4% are going for Werder Bremen to get those wins. So give your votes on the chat section and avail those links which are available in the social media description. The social media description is there. Bayern are pressing it, trying to make some sort of compassionate build up over there. But is that going to happen? Is that going to happen so soon? Are we going to get those 5 big goals again? Is it the Duismister who are going to cause those happens? But from the injuries, Bayern, Daniel Peretz, I mean, they have got those Champions League. It is missing. He is on an injury. Serge Gnabry, I mean, due to those cold weather conditions, not available for the lineups. Alfonso Davies and Hiroki Ito. Hiroki Ito was the signing, but not available this season. He is expected to be back by mid-March. I mean, almost this season will be over by that time. Hiroki Ito and Stanisic not involved, as well as the likes of Sacha Boy. But to bring more light into it, it is that, I mean, Gabriel Vidovic in the squad from the Bayern Munich too. This man, he is that left midfield, as well as he has those versatilities of playing on the attacking midfields, left wings. He is that young man, number 17, brought back at the Alliance. He was on a loan to Mainz, where he hadn't those game time which was needed for him. But he has been brought back because it is Mathis Tell who is no more available for the Alliance. He has got those loan transfers to Tottenham. Mathis Tell, will he do bring glories over there at Tottenham? Because Tottenham has got a big humiliating defeat against Liverpool. And that was in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. The Spurs against the likes of Anfield got those humiliations. It was that first game Mathis Tell was playing over there, and yes, it was just the setbacks which Richarlison got. That is what the opportunity. But at the Alliance, it is Gabriel Vidovic who is back from Mainz, from those loans, and he will be seen making those. Gabriel Vidovic is definitely that player who can cause those differences. It is that first goal. Oh my God. That was the first shot. Sacha Boy in 7 minutes 37 seconds just makes. That shot was from inside the box. That shot was from inside the box. That shot from Sacha Boy was from inside the box. Sacha Boy, he has to get those characters. It is for Vincent Company to get those young players, getting those characters to be much been seen. I mean, he has to get those young players into these first starting lineup. It is those new men in those red jerseys. They must be seen. They must be seen. Alliance has to bring those young players into the squad. A fresh new beginning is definitely needed. I mean, the departure of some old players will not be a big massacre if we are going to get those young players from the academy. That is what the need is. That is definitely the need is. I'm going to talk about the lineups for Bremen as well. I mean, to talk about Werder Bremen, this season they have got a decent aspect on the ninth position. They are playing it good, but on their aspect, the player who has been most mesmerizing is that off stage. But the likes of Patrick Coleman, he will stick to that 3-5-2. That is what the need of the hour is. But Bayern on that 4-2-3-1 from Vincent Company, they are going good in the Bundesliga. They have got those huge goals. They have even considered only 19, but in the previous game, that was a 3-goal on the stoppage time, which Bayern considered. The lack of those concentration on the pitch is definitely going to be some haunting in the long run. That is not a good aspect. Vincent Company must not be praising. It is Werder who are going to make those counters. Sacha Boy makes those tackles back to Pamecano. Kimmich is staying on the right part of the defensive midfield. Pavlovic passes that to Guerrero. That is a missed pass. Pavlovic mispasses it. That is Weiser from Werder trying to make those runs. But Werder are not that good clinical in those passings, and that ball goes for a throw. Pavlovic, after his injuries, he is back. Look at Musiala. Look at Musiala. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4 man. He is dribbling fast. I mean, to talk about Musiala, such a young player, plays so good. He has got those sticky movement with the ball, with his foot, and he does it so good. Musiala passes that to Olise, back to Musiala, Kimmich, Coman takes that curler. Oh my God, that shot from Coman. Look at that wide angle. That was a wide angle from Coman. Oh my God, what is that Coman doing? Coman is time and again, I mean, in this season have been trying to take those shots outside the box from his most likable position for those curlers to be happening. In the previous game also, I mean, most of the times Coman has been seen doing this. This is definitely the need. This is definitely the need. I mean, Coman, if he gets those click moments, if he gets those form back, he can get those curls, where he can get those long shots outside the box, because this creative approach Vincent Company is having with almost two center backs, 2-4-4, or it is the likes of, oh my God, that is something. Oh, that is safe. That ball is safe. Back to Binjay Kim. Yes, talking about Vincent Company, I mean, the formation which he is taking, to look at it, it is the likes of 2-3-5, where he is now moving it. That is a bad tackle for Olise. That is a bad tackle to Olise. Why is the referee on page, Mr. Soren Stock, not paying heed to it? That was a bad tackle. That was a bad tackle. Injuries are a concern this long season in the Champions League, this long season which will be again in the next year, because the FIFA Club World Cup is also commencing. The Nations League is happening, the DFB Pokal is happening, the Bundesliga is happening. I mean, a team with those, I mean, 22 players in the A team playing those 60 to 65 matches in a year. If you talk about, there are 52 weeks and 60 to 65 matches, that is almost 2 matches a week. I mean, to play those 2 big games a week, you have to got those rest. Your muscle memory is going to tear apart if you are physically not that capable, if mentally you are not that prepared. Playing long seasons like this, it is Coman again going for those curls, header. Harry Kane gets a touch inside the box. One shot, second shot, just a touch to it. But that is again denied. Werder Bremen has again denied. That was a clear. Was that offside? No, no, that was not offside. Olise got those header moments. Man, that was close. That was close. The Bavarians were just into the box to get that first goal. Already 13 minutes, 30 seconds. When is that first goal going to happen? But are not at all looking good on their thirds and fourths. I mean, the final thirds. They are not getting it so deep in those playmakings. They are staying more on their defensive aspect because the previous leg that was a 5-0 win for Bayern, that was away and home for Werder, is Olise and Kane. Pavlovic is moving high up on the pitch, going for those presses. Coman, he is also pressing it. Minje Kim tackling that good. Guerrero, that is a missed pass. Back passes to Manuel Neuer. Manuel Neuer getting those passes for Kingsley Coman. Coman that header for Guerrero. But from Guerrero, those runs are not happening from Guerrero. Those runs from Guerrero is not happening on the pitch. Those runs from Guerrero is not happening from the pitch. I mean, to talk about Guerrero, he is such a talented player. He was seen much of his epic times at Dortmund. I mean, he has done that job which is much expected from him. Do you guys think that Guerrero is that player? I mean, who can cause those disruptions? Can Guerrero cause those disrupts in the squad? Is that thing quite going to happen? I mean, is that thing really going to happen? I mean, just look at it. It is some sort of opportunities which Harry Kane just got. I mean, these are the moments which were just happening. And Harry Kane, will he make that happen? Will he make that happen? Because this is the lineup. Those of you who had a miss of the lineups, you can watch here on the screen as well. Bayern sticking to that 4-2-3-1, whereas Werder Bremen are sticking to those 5-3-2 moments, most down on their defensive aspects. And the stats of this game is here as well on the screen. If you guys had a watch, it is the stats which is available. It is the most win probability which Bayern will definitely get to avail from this. But is that going to happen? Is that going to happen? I mean, most of the shots which have been taken, it is Bayern, the expected goals, the XEG factor, Bayern is not getting those clinical moments. I mean, the opportunities which Bayern this season has missed across all the competitions, it is those 63 opportunities which Bayern this season hasn't made it good. Inside the box, I'm talking about, not those opportunities which came from outside the box. Inside the box, to talk about precise, it is those 63 big opportunities which Bayern hasn't had good this season. And to talk about, till now, in just 18 minutes of the watch time, 3 shots by Bayern. That is some sort of deficit in the creativity. It is inside the box. Olise trying to make that to Harry Kane, or was that for Musiala? But that is interception. That is interception. Harry Kane is playing deep lying, and that is what? On the far post, no one is covering up high on the pitch. Coman's pressing it high up. That is safe. That is safe. Much of the passes, and are trying to make those passes, but clinically inside the box this season up to now, it is those 63 opportunities In those conversions which Bayern has failed from the attackers. You guys consistently say that from the center backs it is Min Kim or Upamecano not doing it that good and have been scoring those big goals as well, but they have been missing those big opportunities as well. Both side of the balance is there, scoring those big. To talk about Bayern in the stats, the number of goals which they have scored is huge in the table. If we look at it, just have a look of the table. Yes, it is those 62 goals they have scored, conceded 19, but they have also missed those huge, big 63 opportunities. That is somewhat you won't like, boy. That is something you won't like to happen much of the time. That is what you won't like to happen most of the time on the pitch. That is something which you can't afford to have on the pitch. It is Werder who are moving up high on the pitch. Opportunity that is but denied. Thank God. That was a big opportunity but finally denied. It was Min Kim getting those deflections. Look at Min Kim. He has been doing good. Min Kim got those deflections. It was good. But to talk about his performances in those big matches, it is also the need of some defensive midfields where Bayern has to get the likes of Palina one. Only two centre backs going with those full attacks, which Bayern is definitely known for. But at the cost of a corner, Min Kim has got. It is Werder going to take those corners, but it is a block interception. Pavlovic chasing for the ball on the right corners. Upamecano lofting it. That was for Olise. And are looking settling on their own defensive half, not giving those spaces. That is what the need of the hour is. It is Bayern who is doing the talking, boys. It is Bayern who is doing the talking. Till now, it is Bayern who is doing the talking. Those of you who couldn't have a watch of the lineups, it is here as well on the screen. You can watch it. It is the lineup for Bayern and Werder Bremen, which is happening over here at the Alliance. It is Coman inside the box, trying to get a cut in, passes to Guerrero. That was a bit late from Guerrero and some sort of overpowered shot which Kingsley Coman had. Kingsley Coman just had some overpowered shot inside the box. Talking about the creativity from Kingsley Coman, talking about his stats, what he was, apart from those, big moments which were happening, he is, what he was in the previous seasons, but this season he has been good because in 2015 to 17 for Bayern at loan, 60 games, 8 goals. Oh my God, look at Guerrero. He has again given away those tackles. Werder Bremen getting those inside the box. A shot that is, I think that is again a block, but at the expense of a corner incoming. Rafael Guerrero on the left backs today is not looking good on the aspects. It was Kimmich who was staying on those defensive midfields, but no presence of Pavlovic. No presence of Pavlovic on the midfields, defensive midfields. We were talking about the likes of Kingsley Coman. To talk about this, 18 matches played this season, 9 games he has started, 3 goals and 3 assists. Those are the numbers which you expect from your attackers to happen. Werder Bremen inside the box, can they get a shot on goal? But no clearance, that is from Sacha Boey, off for a throw. Kingsley Coman this season, 18 games, 9 started, 3 assists, 3 goals. That is what a stat of an attacker from Bayern. Man, I won't consider that big. Talk about Serge Gnabry. He has 14 games, 7 started, 2 assists and 4 goals. I mean, Gnabry on the other hand has got a goal more, but also that is that a decent stat to happen? To talk about Leroy Sané, 16 games started, 9 games he has played, and to be precise on it, I mean, he hasn't got those big stints. Is that going to happen? It is that fourth shot which has happened till now. It is that just the four stats which has happened. To talk about Leroy Sané, just 5 goals and 2 assists. He is the maximum from those attackers which he has got. Gnabry has got 4 goals, 2 assists. Coman has got 3 goals, 3 assists. Leroy Sané 5 goals, 2 assists. That is what a maximum they have got this season. The numbers are not going to those double digits as well. And apart from Leroy Sané, the new signing Mikel Olise, to talk about him, he has got those big play times, 20 games, 15 started. He has got those 6 goals and 7 assists. I mean, you can call him bit decent on those. For Jamal Musiala, if you talk about him, what is that? The screen has got disconnected or what? Hope my audio and video is good. Holy Christ, what has that happened? Yes, yes, it is looking good. It is looking good. Yes, the audio is good, the video is good. Suddenly I got a notification that there is some sort of disconnection happening. Hope it is looking good. Let me just disconnect the connectivity from here. Yes, it will go good. Yes, the point which we were talking about is that from the stats which we are having of Jamal Musiala, we just had a discussion of the likes of the attackers Coman, Gnabry, Sane, doing those what they have achieved, and now we are up for Jamal Musiala to talk about. I mean, the timeline which is talking about in this, it is just this only. It is just this. I mean, look at that timeline which is happening over here on the screen as well. And let's talk about the likes of Jamal Musiala. It is again a corner incoming. Lise with that cross, a header it was Min Jae Kim jumping so high to it, but he couldn't get that header into it. Min Jae Kim just had a jump, it was too high. It was too high, but he couldn't get a touch to it. He just couldn't get a touch to it. Oh my God. A big opportunity that was for Bayern. A big opportunity. Yes, the thing which we were talking is that Jamal Musiala, oh my God, can we have that big opportunity come in? No, that is off for a throw. Yes, Jamal Musiala this season, 17 matches played, 14 started. He has got injuries for at least 2 weeks. That was the maximum. I mean, before the Nations League, that was thing which was happening. He has got those 10 goals and 2 assists. I mean, if we are going to be precise about Vincent Company, he needs those creativity. I mean, in his gameplays, Olise is performing, Jamal Musiala is performing. That is a shot being taken by Kingsley Coman again. Oh my God. Miss. That is a miss. That was a cheap ball given away to Coman. Coman is time and again looking this season, making those right footer curlers. Oh my God. That ball was just not dipping in good. There was some sort of flight, a little bit of curl as well. But look at that jump from Min Jae Kim as well. 2 opportunities could have been converted, but not in the nets. I mean, the ball wasn't just enough on the nets to get a good aspect into it. So yes, this is the start of the game so far here on the screen. just have a revamp of it. It is those 5 shots which has been taken. It is the big thing which is happening. Yes, the thing which we were talking is that Vincent Company to talk about, he likes those players in the forwards who are creative. It is Jamal Musiala getting those creativity. He is going good. Olise has got those nutmeg moments at times. He is doing good. But from the attacking aspects, Coman, Gnabry, Sane, they are especially wingers. They love to run behind the ball. They love to run with the ball. They love to chase the ball. I mean, Vincent Company needs those creativity in the pitch to be happening with those high pressing moments. That is what the reason Musiala is doing good, Olise is doing good as an overall performance which you want to be happening. But on the likes of Sane, Gnabry, and yes, the likes of Coman is not happening because they are those wingers. And yes, Harry Kane is that sole man on the striking positions. That is what Bayern has got. I mean, for the rest of the season, they have brought the likes of Vidovic. I mean, that man, when Bayern just got those loans to Mainz, I was just saying it so loud and so clear that please keep Gabriel Vidovic in the squad. No one paid any attention to it. It is now that Company has brought Vidovic back into the squad. But on the other hand, Vidovic at Mainz, he has just got 2 games of playtime. He was in most of the times, I mean, injured as well as not in the starting lineup. And Mainz just gave Vidovic, I mean, 2 games playtime for half of the season. I mean, more than 1 month to that half of the season. And at Mainz, Gabriel Vidovic got just, I mean, 2 goals. But what went in the summers, it was Mathis Tel getting those contract extensions up to 2029. He was seen as the next future to be incoming. And in these 6 months, Vincent Company just didn't give Mathis Tel those playmaking opportunities. Whereas Gabriel Ludovic was sent, it is now, I mean, with the likes of Iran Kuda as well as going as well, there were many players. I mean, to talk about the aspects which Bayern got on those transfers to be special. I mean, it was Noel Aseko in Kili who just made on the winters to Hanover 96. Mathis Tel to Tottenham. Adam Asno, the right back and the left backs. Company has got Stanisic. He is expecting to get Hiroki Ito. So Adam Asno has been on a loan to Real Valladolid. This January, Detoni is also sent on loan to Grasshopper. Harijon Ibrahimovic was also that player which I was talking about in the first half of the season. I mean, on these summers, he has been sent to Lazio, and at Lazio, he hasn't played a single game. Harijon Ibrahimovic, that attacking midfield, at Lazio, he hasn't played a single game. What is that happening? The loan transfers which has been given, it is those money-making things which is occurring, but the players are not getting those play times. Whereas Nestroy Iran Kuda as well is that Australian who has been sent to Grasshopper. He has just got those 4 games at Grasshopper to be played. Man, if you talk about it, those transfers, I mean, those scouts are happening. It is looking good. But Gabriel Vidovic was sent to Mainz, and I was making those bold statements. No one paid any heed to it. I mean, he was that man which I liked him. I mean, I wanted him to stay with Company and doing something good into the squad. But this first 6, that is a shot being taken by Mikel Olise. Will it get into the nets or not? Oh my God, Mikel Olise is proving it. Kingsley Coman just got that to Musiala. Musiala to Olise. Olise took a one touch. That was a curl. It just misses the far post. That was close, boy. That was close. That is what I'm talking. The wingers are not doing those jobs in it because it is not those fast runs where you need to have. I mean, the aspect of wingers running across with those crosses, that is not the aspect which Vincent company would have, and that is why the reason is it is Coman, it is Grabry, it is Sane who have been making those shots just on the edge of the box with their preferred foot to be happening most of the times. Coman on this game, if you are having a watch of it, it is Coman from the edge of the box from those right foot curls which he is trying to make. I mean, that is what is happening. That is what is happening. And on the timeline, just have it. I mean, that was close. That was very close from Kimmich. Mikel Olise also had a very close call to it. And on the stats, and yes, Bayern with this lineup, can they make it good? Can they make it good? The standings are so good in the Bundesliga table, but is that going to happen? Is that going to happen? Because it was in the previous fixtures, Bayern against Werder Bremen, that was an away game, and that was a big 5-0 win for Bayern. But it was Olise who had scored those previous openings, and in this game also, it is Olise, it is Musiala getting those opportunities, whereas somewhat of shots are being taken from the likes of Kingsley Coman from those right midfield, just outside the box. Kimmich pressing it high. He has got Olise. Olise tries to get a jump, but no touch. Olise just couldn't get a proper touch to that through ball from Kimmich. I mean, his positioning as well as his view of the ball, he was looking at the ball for a long. I mean, he took so much time to get those estimates done good, but couldn't gather that ball inside the box at the perfect time. Werder Bremen, 35 minutes on the gameplay so far, hasn't yet conceded. How is that creativity going to happen? Because when you are having just Musiala and Olise for most of the times doing it, and yes, it is Kimmich making it. Is that going to happen or not? Because Werder Bremen, with this lineup, they are making it happen, but they are not getting those numbers counting. They have just got two shots and no shots on target. No worries for Manuel Neuer on the pitch so far today. Olise again moving inside the box. He has got that to Pavlovic, Musiala. Werder Bremen are time and again just making those interceptions and letting those clearances so good. Upamecano, Kimmich passes that to Musiala dropping down. Musiala has got Pavlovic, he has got Coman, Guerrero. Look at that positioning from Guerrero. What is that going to happen? I mean, how is that going to happen? If you are going to try the same thing again and again with no different approach to it, I mean, you may be called insane. But if you are good enough, then you would try it, but with a different approach. Pavlovic, Musiala, it is Kimmich again. Kimmich changes the flanks to Olise. It is Bayern who is having most of the possession, looking for those creativities. Yes, it is Musiala running in. Harry Kane header to it, but that deflection wasn't enough. Coman keeps the ball inside the play. Pavlovic. Pavlovic is staying down with Kimmich most of the times. Upamecano and Min Kim are almost down to the half of the opposition box. Musiala, Oe, as well as Olise trying to do some creativity from those right flanks. Back passes to Upamecano. Min Kim has got that to Pavlovic. Kimmich again. Kimmich with his right footer is time and again trying to find Olise. It is Now Musiala on the right wings, making those crosses happen. That is a do or die situation. Now Bayern on the 38th minute on the watch are going, making those players outnumbered because Werder Bremen are staying 7 men inside the box. Look at that. Musiala dribbling it. He has got Boe. Boe passes to Musiala again. Kimmich. Why is Kimmich not going to get those crosses on the left wings? Pavlovic to the mid part of the pitch. Boy gets those tackle. Olise winning it. Good touch to it. It is those opportunities to be taken. No, denied. Bremen are just parking their bus deep on their defensive half, and it is for some creativity which Vincent Company's men have to be shown. I mean, look at that pressure which man is creating it. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Werder Bremen are down with one injury and it is Stage. It is Stage, their striker who has got those big ratings this season. He is seen looking down on the pitch. There is some sort of injuries. Will that be a substitution to be made? No. Stage is the man. Number 6 is he moving out of the pitch from Werder Bremen. I mean, look at that. It is Stage who is making those movements out of the pitch. Is he injured or is he just killing those time which is not needed? Stage is having some words. Stage is, yes, Werder Bremen are going to make those substitutions because it is their number 6 Stage who has just now left the pitch. He was that man who is having most of the ratings for Werder Bremen this season, and now, oh my God, Olise taking that ball to the corner, but it has been given away for a goal kick. I mean, Werder Bremen has got those substitutions made because it is Stage who is off the pitch due to the injuries. That is a big news. That is a big game-changing moment which Bayern can capitalize. In the first half, 40 minutes of the watch, can Bayern get those goals? Can Bayern get those goals? Is that thing going to happen? That is definitely the talk which at the Alliance fans would definitely want to celebrate this big. The fans will definitely want to celebrate it big because just have a watch of the stats which is happening over here, and it is just 7 shots which Bayern has taken. But to talk about the previous leg, this was the lineup which Bayern were having. I mean, apart from Davis and Lima, most of the first lineup is same. It is Guerrero and Boe on the super backs. But the stats of the previous game were quite different. It was those 25 shots which Vincent Company made. Vincent Company's men in the previous leg got 25 shots, 7 on target. That was, I mean, more than 800 passes in a game. That was a different aspect. In the first half, till now, for this game, look at these stats. It is also quite different. I mean, just it is 7 shots. That is a shot. Pavlovic takes it, a deflection into it, but straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. That was Pavlovic getting aggressive on the pitch and takes that shot. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. You have to go for those shots. It is the fools who time and again try the same thing expecting a different result. But you have to take those shots time and again. You have to get their goalkeeper a bit worried and you have to capitalize those moments where you can get their goalkeeper just dumbstruck. That is what you have to do every time you are going for those creativity inside the box, outside the box. If you are not getting those big chances coming, then make those shots happen. Let their goalkeeper get those unsettling moments on the pitch. Because in the previous leg, look at the stats. It is those 25 shots which Bayern had taken in all those up to the stoppage time in the previous leg, 7 on target. And that was a 5-goal, 2 from Olise, Jamal Musiala, Harry Kane, and Gnabry. But for today's game, look at the stats. It is 43 minutes just ending the first half. Only a total of 8 shots has been taken. What a comparison that will be, 25 to that of 8 in the first half, a maximum of 16 in the second half. Creativity is looking lagging from Vincent Kompany's men as they are moving down the season. They have to change some of their approaches, and at times they have to go for those big shots happening from the edge of the box. They have to got the goalkeepers, get some sort of unsettling moments on the pitch. That is what which is happening. How is that going to change? How is that going to change for Bayern? It is their man, Stage Kelly Alvaro. And it is Skelly Alvaro who has come, Stage just being replaced, substituted by Skelly Alvaro. It is Bayern must not be having those threats on the pitch. Definitely would have to capitalize it. Definitely would have to capitalize it. No denying the fact, Bayern have to definitely capitalize it. On the other hand, 45 minutes over here at Alliance is up. 1 minute of added time for this. It is 1 minute of added time. Olise, Pavlovic, creativity looking. Boy takes that cross header for Harry Kane. What a goal that would have been. Oh my God. Look at that header, Sacha Boy. That is what I'm talking about. Get those pass. It was, oh my God, that ball was so close. It just kissed the far post. That header from Harry Kane just kissed the far post. Man, that was close. That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. That cross, Sacha Boy made it so good. Harry Kane had a jump that was so good. But that header was just a hairline off from the far post and it just kissed. And the referee on pitch, Soren Stocks, he has just blown the whistle and the first half over here has ended. The first half over here has ended at the Alliance. And it is the likes of Bayern, to be precise on these stats. If we have a look of it, let me just put this on the screen. It will definitely look good. Yes, it is those 9 shots to be on the screen, which Bayern has just used 3 on target. Clinical finishings just narrowing down a little bit. That is what is lacking from this team. Vincent Kompany is definitely fortunate that they have got Celtic for the 2 legs in those playoffs in the Champions League. And it is those big games which Vincent Kompany's men are having in the upcoming fixtures. They have got Leverkusen, they have got Stuttgart. Such a month where Bayern are having those big games. The likes of Stuttgart, the likes of Frankfurt, the likes of Leverkusen back to back this season. 3 of the big games. Frankfurt on the 3rd spot, Leipzig, Stuttgart on the 5th, Leverkusen on the 2nd. It will be the reigning champions Leverkusen going on against Munich. It will be Frankfurt at the 3rd spot this season going on against Munich. It will be the likes of Stuttgart on the 5th spot going on against Bayern. Big games for Bayern this month, February, the month of Valentine's. Will that be a big game changer or not? Because these 3 matches will definitely pre-decide what is going to end up this season. Because getting those wins over these three teams, that is definitely you are getting those odds in your favor. That is what Vincent Company's men have to do. And apart from that, it is the two games against Celtic, which Bayern have been lucky in those draws. Otherwise, it would have been Manchester City on the other hand, but City went on into the hands of Real Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti will have a good deal with it. That is what all about this. But looking at the stats of this game, I mean, 9 shots, 3 on target by Bayern, whereas 0 shots on target for Werder Bremen. That is all one way. But Bayern on the creativity, are they going to make it big? Are they going to make it happen? Good or not, that is also the watch to have. And on the other hand, we are also having the watch of Paris Saint-Germain against the likes of Monaco, and in just 14 minutes Paris has scored. It is the League One round 21 ongoing. These score lines are also there on the panel just below me. You can get a watch of it. It is Vitina who has scored on those 6 minutes. And apart from that, it is Manchester United against Leicester City. If you guys want to have a watch of that, I mean, just have a look at it. It was Leicester City against the likes of Van Nistelrooy's, Van Nistelrooy's Leicester City against Ruben Amorim's Manchester United. What irony that is. And to be precise on this game, to talk about this game, it is the FA Cup round 4 which is happening for the United, and Ruben Amorim's men with those trailing moments. To be precise on the lineups, if we have a look of it, it is the lineup which Ruben Amorim's men are having. They have got the likes of Onana, Maguire, Lenioro, and Mazzaroi on the centre backs. No delay for them tonight. Dorgu, the new signing, is over here. Ugarte, Fernandes, and Dalot. Look at that. Mazzaroi staying down on the pitch. Diallo, Holland, and Menu on the attacks. It is Leicester City who made some stints with Ruud van Nistelrooy, that legendary player from United. But Van Nistelrooy, on the upcoming fixtures, Leicester City has dropped down those points. And to talk about this game, to be precise, having the stats good on the page, if we have a complete view of it, yes, it is it. None of the teams has got a shot. It is Leicester who has just got that one shot in those 21 minutes, and that shot was also on target. Where is for Henry Onana on the pitch? Where is for Henry Onana on the pitch? Whereas the passes and the possession which we talk about United and Leicester City, which is going on the FA Cup round 4, it is both 50% possession, and the game is really going at good. But we are having the watch of Bayern and Werder Bremen, and it is the second half which will be going to begin. But can we take a short break? Can we take a short break over and you guys can have a watch of these stats? That would look good on the screen over here. It is Werder Bremen who are 0 and Bayern Munich who are also 0. Should we place this screen or we should go for this one? Yes, this looks good. This looks good. Let me put on the stats over here and the lineup for Bayern over here. That is what the screen looks good over here. Let me take a 1-minute short break and we will analyze the first half, Bayern and Werder Bremen, to be much detailed analysis of what happened in the first half and what is the substitutions which we are going to make. Does Bayern need any substitutions? Because I would definitely want few things to happen. It is the likes of Guerrero who needs to get, but Boe is not doing those inverted positions. Those sweeper backs. He is both of them, Guerrero and Boe, needs to have those stunts. Musiala is being man mark good. Harry Kane has got few opportunities. but those weren't those big chances which you can count on him for his back to happen. But Kingsley Coman, they have to come big. But on the substitutions, if we talk about it, is just the likes of Dyer and Stanisic on the defense, Vidovic, Lamo and Goretzka on the mid pitch, and it is Thomas Muller, Leroy Sané, and Wisdom Mike, that young player. He is from the under 19 into the senior squad, can be made. What are those opportunities? Will Stanisic be called upon? What is that? Will Goretzka will be moving on to the centre backs? I mean, playing with Goretzka on the centre backs along with Minje Kim and Upamecano. What is that? Because against Werder Bremen, it is for Bayern to get those big goals. Do stay tuned on the stream over here. And apart from that, there is also a poll on the chat that whether it is the Deuce Mister who are going to get those wins against Werder Bremen, or it is Werder who are going to get those upsets for Bayern. Is it Manchester United who are getting those wins against, I mean, ironically speaking, Van Nistelrooy's Leicester City? Ruben Amorim's man against Van Nistelrooy's Leicester City. That is another irony over here. I mean, how could Leicester City be Van Nistelrooy's and Manchester United be that of Ruben Amorim? The two managers who had also a stint, is the fight going on between there at the FA Cup round 4, as well as over here it is Vincent Company against the like of Patrick Coleman in the Bundesliga. The two matches which you are having the watch along, as well as the likes of FC Porto and Sporting CP is there on the screen, and Paris Saint-Germain against the likes of Monaco, the another big clash happening in the French league as well. But Paris and Monaco have just leveled the scores. Let me have a 1 minute break, guys. It will be a long session we will be having. And yes, the watch links are there on the social media description. Join it and avail those. Just give me a 1 minute break and I will be just back for the second half, getting those analyses to be done. 1 minute break, guys. Just a 1 minute break. big moments which we are talking about. Is that going to happen for Bayern in this game? That is what the watch is. Are the big things going to happen for Bayern? Yes, guys, we are back for this watch along again for the second half to begin at the Alliance. But is that thing going to happen? Because just have a recapitalize, revisualize the stats of the first half. 9 shots on target, 9 shots, 3 on target from Bayern, 77% possession, 2 from Werder Bremen, but no worries for Manuel Neuer, no threat from Werder Bremen, and they are looking parking their bus. But on the other hand, to talk about the lineups of Werder Bremen, they have got their elite man Stage, who is down to the sidelines, and he has been substituted. To be precise of the lineups, if we have a look over here for both the teams, just look at it. It is the likes of Stage who has just been, on the first half, it is the likes of the substitutions which both Vincent Company and P. Coleman has got in this game. It is Leran Goretzka, Sane, Dyer, Vidovic, that man back from the loan, Thomas Muller, Lammer. It is the likes of Mike, the new center forward who has been picked up into the squad from the under 19 Bayern. Urbeek, the new goalkeeper, also the new signing. Two of these signings which Vincent Company has done, and that is Josip Stanisic, back from the injuries and back from those loan stints at Leverkusen into the squad. But Stanisic hasn't made those big game time in his squad. It is Kelly Avero who has made the substitution because it was their J Stage, that elite man who has got those physical discomfort, and he has been moved to the sidelines. Whereas they still have got Max Shampton, Kovic, Nagata, Karore, Agu, as well as Burg and Silva coming on for the next half. Will the substitutions be counting? Vincent Company, is he going to make those changes happen or not? That is also be the fact which we'll be looking for, because in the second half, to be precise, it was Bayern Munich enduring a rare goalless half that has happened against Werder Bremen, but the hosts are failing to break down. Werder Bremen are looking so rigid over here, and Kane came close. Olise came a bit close. Outside the box, inside the box, Coman coming close, but no big opportunities for Musiala still in this game. While Company's men will be looking a bit frustrated, but Werder Bremen is surely happy with this which they have, and the mighty league ladders at Bayern. Will they move up to the 7th place? That is what the aspect which we have. But talking about the Bundesliga, to be precise, with this lineup, Bayern are still at the first spot, scoring those massive goals as well as those massive victories in the Bundesliga, doing it so good. But will be that happening, because Bayern has to prove those characters against this month of Valentine in February. It is the likes of Vincent Company's man who have to come up big. Any sort of changes being made, no substitutions being made on the watch. No substitutions made. It was that first half lineup which both the teams are sticking on. It is Harry Kane inside, that hits the top post. Oh my god, can you guys believe that? Harry Kane, that is what I'm talking about. He has to take those shots outside the box. Look at that shot. It was a cannonball, and it was nowhere for Zetter to take a touch to it. That is what I'm talking about. Harry Kane, the likes of Musiala, the likes of Sane, they have to take those big shots outside the box, and they have to make that happen. Look at that shot from Harry Kane. Most of the times he has been seen just moving close to the opposition's defensive lineup, but at times they have to take those shots just from outside the box. Those opportunities, they have to get it big. That shot from Harry Kane just got hit into the woodwork. It was no way for Zetter. their goalkeeper from Werder to get a touch to it, but Harry Kane has been denied by that top post. Werder fresh with energy in the second half, making some build-ups, but in their final thirds, they are just losing away those positions. But on their defensive aspects, they are doing it good. But both the managers, Vincent Company, as well as the likes of Patrick Coleman, have stuck to their first half lineup. Vincent Company looking complacent, not making any substitutions. He will definitely make it after those 60th minutes. Whereas Patrick Coleman will be definitely happy with what has happened in the first half because they haven't yet conceded. But it is their second man who is looking down to the pitch with injuries. What is that going to happen? Will be that third injury, that second injury, which is coming on for Werder Bremen. Leroy Sané looking warming up on the sidelines. Will he be the pick? Just 2 minutes into the second half, and it is the likes of Werder Bremen getting those, injuries on the watch. That is something concerning from the likes of Patrick Coleman on the pitch. Number 11, that is Ninjma. Will he get those substitutions done? Number 6, Stage, their overall best player of this season, has moved to the sidelines, and it was Kelly Alvaro making his move. But now it is their number 11, Nanjinma, who is down to the sidelines. But will he make those substitutions count? Has Patrick Coleman going to make those substitutions or not? That is the definite watch to have. Upamecano passes that to Olise. Pavlovic, Olise again, Upamecano, Min Jae Kim back passes to Musiala. Musiala dropping down, trying to find some creativity, gets Kimmich. Kimmich to the right wings, has got Sacha Boe. Boe back passes to Olise. Kimmich again, Olise, Musiala on the right midfields. That is a pass for Harry Kane for those headers. No interception. That is from Werder. Werder are just parking their bus on their defensive half and not giving those spaces. Werder on their defensive aspect are just parking their bus. They are not allowing anything to happen from Bayern. Sacha Boy, on the other hand, from the defensive aspect, not of much worries could be seen from him because Werder, on the other hand, hasn't made those counter attacks from those aspects. But Guerrero defensively has been good than Sacha Boy, but his creativity is that what is lacking. From the left backs, it is the creativity which is lacking. Guerrero, to be precise, if you play him in the midfield, he runs to chase for the ball. Lama, on the other hand, runs to chase for the ball. Stanisic is that option which Bayern can capitalize, or will they go for Goretzka on the centre backs with those three centre backs getting Werder Bremen outnumbered in the mid pitch? What is Vincent Company deciding to get along with for the next 40 minutes of the gameplay still left in the second half? It's just 5 minutes and the game has come to a halt because of the injury concerns from Werder Bremen. It is their player Nijma who is just being substituted. Their number 11 goes off to the sidelines. Goal kick, that is. Interception. Harry Kane passing back to Kimmich. Boe making his run on the right midfields. Back passing that to Kimmich. Pavlovic. Guerrero makes that cross into the mid box. Interception back. That is a back return to Kimmich. Boe, back to Kimmich, Pavlovic, Guerrero. Coman has got Harry Kane. But he goes for Musiala for those headers inside the box. That is a big challenge for Jamal Musiala inside the box. Don't get injured, brothers. Don't get injured. Look at that. Musiala made that jump. Oh my god, that was a scary jump from Musiala. Don't get injured. It is that high time, the month of February, where you have got those fixtures to be played. Don't make those injuries count. Don't make those injuries count, guys. It is definitely going to be a worse. Don't make those injuries count. Already laden with so much injuries and so short of the players. Don't count those injuries to happen. Don't count those injuries to happen. The stats are looking not that perfect from Bayern's view. Not getting those big attempts to be made. It is just their 10th attempt which they have got. And to be precise, it is that change which they have made. It is the substitution which has happened, and Silva coming onto the pitch and Justin's Ninja moving out of the pitch. That has what still happened up to the 62nd minutes. But how is that going to overall change the aspect of this game? Werder Bremen has got Stage, they have got Ninjma both out of the lineup. And it is Kelly Alvaro, that man, he is also lethal. And De Silva, both of them. I mean, Werder Bremen has got those. It is Harry Kane inside the box. That is a handball. That is a handball. Referee is pointing to the center of the box. That is a handball. Werder Bremen has got it. I think that is a handball inside the box. That is a yellow card for Jung as well. Werder, their number 3 centre back on the pitch, has considered a penalty with that handball. Harry Kane got that header. Look at that. Harry Kane was lethal. That is a hand which Jung has placed it straight into that creativity from Harry Kane to be getting those cut into the penalty box, and the referee has pointed it. It is Soren Stocks, the referee on the pitch. That was clearly a handball. I mean, that interception which Jung got their centre back from Werder Bremen, that is definitely a handball. And yes, Werder Bremen, will they concede? And that is also a yellow card as well. Oh my god, that is a yellow card as well. That tackle being made, saving that ball, the momentum of the game with his hand straight onto it. Werder Bremen now will have to face a penalty. It is Zetterer, their goalkeeper, one-on-one again, going against Harry Kane. The referee is talking to the match officials about the decisions being made, a sort of VAR practice into it. And yes, that is a Harry Kane penalty which is going to be taken. That is a penalty finally awarded. Get it big. Harry Kane hasn't missed a penalty most of the times we have watched. It is that penalty which is again going to come. Harry Kane against Zetterer. Werder Bremen, are they going to concede? 55 minutes, 25 seconds on the watch. Harry Kane takes that penalty. That penalty, Harry Kane never misses it, and he bangs it. The first goal. I mean, that move from Harry Kane into the box, that was denied by Jung, and that was bit tactical into it. If you talk about it, Jung gets his hand straight for those interceptions inside the box. If you get those interceptions with your hand, that is definitely a handball. And Harry Kane, who never misses those penalties, has got it. Harry Kane has got those. Just look at it. What happened right now on the pitch? Oh my god. That is the first goal incoming. That is what was needed. That is definitely the goal which we were working for. That is the goal which we definitely wanted for to happen in this. It is that goal Harry Kane has got. It is that penalty which he got converted it so clinically. I mean, inside the box, Harry Kane is clinical. I mean, that is what we talk about. You have to take those shots from outside the box when creativity is not happening. I mean, there is also a poll on the vote section where some of you have got those votes for Werder Bremen. Oh my God, how you on this holy earth do you guys are being able to think that Werder Bremen are going to get those wins against the Douche. Look at that. Harry Kane making those appearances count so good. A big moment that is. The first goal. Now it is for Bayern to get few more goals. But Werder Bremen will now definitely not look settling down on the defensive half, not parking their bus. They would definitely want some side of movements, and those interceptions from the mid pitch is definitely the need of the hour from Bayern at Allianz. Werder Bremen changing the wings, going in for their left wings, but no way they were near to get a sort of collect to it. Sacha Boy taking that throw. Kimmich back to Sacha Boy. Lise, Kimmich, that was a risky shot. Back to Pamecano. Neuer. Neuer to Kim. Harry Kane dropping down. That was lofted to Boe. Boe takes that to Olise on the wings. Olise dribbling it. But a smooth gets those header crosses. I think there is some sort of wind from the south which is looking so disheartening because the lofted passes which are being made from Bayern, it is just getting so derailed. I mean, there is some wind effect at Alliance which can be seen. It is Olise on the edge of the box. Harry Kane get those shot. Misses it. Man, that was a big opportunity for Harry Kane. Clinically talking inside the box. I mean, what? Harry Kane missing that. Just gets his twinkling eyes clicked on the pitch to Olise. What was that? Harry Kane got his left footer. He was nowhere near the first post. But on missing that, he clicks his eyes straight for Olise. I mean, what was that move for? Paul is back in position with Kim. Neuer with his left footer trying to go for Coman. Interception. Harry Kane changes the wings to Sacha Boy. Come on, big boys. Make that happen. Boy to Kimmich. Guerrero. Coman. Coman trying to get some creativity. Interception, but save. Back to Pavlovic. Kimmich. Look at that. Minje Kim and Upamecano both are staying so similar on their center backs, staying so close to each other. That is definitely a big concern. This habit of Upamecano and Minje Kim definitely needs to be sorted out at times. Pavlovic. Back to Kim. Musiala. I mean, the aspect of Koeman staying on those far winger positions. Yes, it is Pavlovic to Koeman. Koeman inside the box trying to get some creativity, run out of it. Koeman is not that getting, I mean, he is not getting those creativity at times. Ball is back to Manuel Neuer. Neuer to Pavlovic. Look at that positioning from Pavlovic. Pavlovic has to stay. Look at that tackle being made to Kimmich on the pitch. Give him a card for that challenge being made. Yes, that is definitely a bad move Werder are trying to make. Down by 1 goal. Now they are showing their character on the pitch. Look at that playmaking. That is a yellow card. That is definitely a big book. Look at that challenge being made to Kimmich. That was bad. That was bad. That was really bad. It was Andre Silva, the substitution, which came in on the second half, and he just gets those running tackles made to Kimmich. What was that? Werder Bremen are losing their character on this. Neuer, Min Jae Kim, Guerrero, Pavlovic, Kimmich, most of the passes happening on their own defensive half. For Meccano, get that space of fresh breathe with that second goal. Olise trying to get those speed. One player, two player, third. But finally, interception coming in. It is inside the box. A shot being taken. Free kick so early. Harry Kane trying to change the cross for Coman. No, it was for Guerrero. Interception, but the flags are raised. That was offside. That free kick being taken so hurriedly. It was for Harry Kane to finish it, but he goes for those passes. But no, the flags are raised. The flags are raised. That is some offside moment on the pitch. It was that yellow card which Andres Silva has got on the pitch. That is the most happening thing which has happened over here on the pitch at Alliance. And are looking for their second goal to get their fresh breathe and a space where they can get those relaxations. Kimmich passing to Pavlovic, Min, Kim Min, Musiala, Kimmich. I mean, look at that. I mean, that positions Olise and Coman staying on those far wings, but it is so close to the box that they can't afford to get those passes happening. Musiala getting some creativity. Yes, dribbling is there. One, two, three players. Finally passes to Olise. Olise will get a cut in. No, he goes to the far post. Dribbling it. Sacha Boy finally getting those tackles. Unethical but unsorted tackles from Sacha Boy. Werder Bremen finally getting those interceptions. Werder Bremen on their defensive half, they are just parking their bus with their men down into their box, just defending it. Pavlovic changing the gameplay to Oman, Musiala, back to Pavlovic, Kim, Joshua Kimmich, Oman, Pavlovic, Kimmich again, Lise. Harry Kane is not seen dropping down. And on the other hand, it is those predictable positions where Rafael Guerrero is not getting those spaces to be accounted for. Coman back to Kimmich. Kimmich goes for those right wings. Olise, Meccano, and are looking, getting some creativity, getting those Werder players exhausted, and that is what they will get the playmaking happening. It is the strength, it is the muscle memories where you have to rely on that on the pitch. Meccano, Guerrero, lots of passes happening, but no way into the mid pitch. Pavlovic, Meccano, Kimmich again, and are now trying to frustrate Werder Bremen with the possession. I mean, it has been 2 minutes on a stretch where Bayern are getting those positions. It is Upamecano going for Coman. Interception for Werder, but at the cost of a corner incoming. That is a corner which is going to be taken. Who is going to take that? Is it Joshua Kimmich? Yes. Kimmich is going to take those corners, get those headers counted. Upamecano inside the box. Minje Kim as well inside the box. Harry Kane inside the box. Three of those headers. Pavlovic straying, step to Zetna. That is a header being taken. Upamecano straight into the nets. But it was the likes of Zetterer getting those interceptions, those touches. That is a good block from Zetterer. Where women are keeping their nets cleared. Just one goal they have conceded. That corner from Kimmich, what a lofted cross, and Upamecano straight into it, getting those headers. But that was a save. Olise looking bit tired, looking lacking of fresh legs. Vincent Company has to make changes. Michel Olise is looking bit tired. Michel Olise is that man on the pitch. He is looking at times bit tired. It is 68 minutes on the watch. Upamecano getting those blocks. Kimmich. Werder have now opened up their formation a bit, trying to get some position because it was Bayern dominating for the past 7 minutes with those possession and passes. Losing that position, Pavlovic wins it. Back passes to Guerrero. Bayern are getting those balls recovered so good. It is just 12 seconds. And whereas Werder Bremen on an average are getting those 30 seconds of recovery time. That is what you have to create those damaging aspects counting. Manuel Neuer, Olise keeps the ball inside the pitch. Kimmich, Harry Kane loses that position. Werder are making those position look good at times on the pitch, but from their midfield aspect, they are not getting those creativity happening. They are not making those creativity happening on the pitch. I mean, to talk about the stats precise for this game, just have a look at it. It is the 13 shots which Bayern has taken, but in the previous game, it was those 25 shots. The stats are counting. The stats are looking a bit disheartening. Bayern are not getting those creativity inside the box. It is for such a boy on the right wings. He gets those crosses, but no boy, it was Harry Kane deep lying down. To talk about such a boy, I mean, of his creativity on the pitch, he is back from the injuries, but he is lacking. Sacha Boy is lacking those creativity on the pitch. He is definitely lacking those creativity on the pitch with this formation which man is playing in it. I mean, Sacha Boy is the man who is lacking those creativity. It is those substitutions which Vincent Company has to make. 70 minutes on the watch, still 20 minutes plus stoppage time. That is a long pass for Coman. Coman to Pavlovic, Kimmich again. Pavlovic and Kimmich in this game, if you talk about both of them have been doing their decent jobs. They have been playing on the mid pitch. They have been getting those passes. They have been staying those diagonal movements. They have been getting those fluidity. Musiala takes that shot. So grounded shot. Nobody's for Zetterer. That was a shot being taken by Musiala straight into the hands of Zetterer. No worries, that was such a grounded shot. Musiala not being able to take those wide shots. He is looking a bit tired, as well as the likes of Pavlovic and the likes of Olise as well. But the creativity from Sacha Boey and Guerrero Both of them are lacking from that aspect on the pitch. Both of them are lacking those aspects on the pitch. Kim, Harry Kane dropping down, Musiala trying to get past some dribble out of it, but Werder Bremen are trying to make some movement of the pitch, but on their final thirds, they are getting those position lost. Boy, Lise, back to Boy. Boy is showing some physical strength onto the pitch. Manuel Neuer, Kimmich back passes to Neuer. Upamecano. Upamecano goes for Olise on the pitch. That is a tackle to Olise. Olise down to the pitch. That is a bad tackle. That is a bad tackle. It is finally Lima seen coming onto the pitch. Vincent Company and his options at times look so weird. Oh my god, it is Mikel Olise who is going to get those moves. No, it is Sacha Boey. Sacha Boey getting his first lineup moment for Bayern, but played well, but from those creative aspects, not with that experience, couldn't get those chances converted. Eyebrows will be raised for Sacha Boey, not getting those big performances after making those first starting lineup moments back from injuries. Now it is Vincent Company who is sticking to Lima. Musiala, the left wings cuts in, has got Coman. Musiala is down to the pitch. What a rusty tackle where the Bremen at times are making. I mean, with those tackles, hope they don't get a red card or a booking into it. That will be too worsening. But in the previous leg, it was Bayern who scored those 5 goals and got those 25 shots, 7 on target. But in this game, if you talk about these stats, it has been bit complacent from the aspects of Bayern. I mean, look at the stats which Bayern has got. Just 14 shots, 6 on target. I mean, to be clinical, it was 25 shots in the previous leg, 7 on target. To be precise, this was the first leg which happened. It was Olise getting those 2 goals, Musiala, Harry Kane, and Gnabry 1 each, but it was those 25 shots which Bayern took, 7 on target. But for this fixture of the second leg, it is those 14 shots and 6 on target. I mean, to talk about those clinical aspects, they have been good, but on those creativity, they are still lacking. It is also the likes of Alphonso Davies, who was there in the first starting lineup, and it was Lima, who was also there in the first lineup. I mean, in the first leg. But in this second leg, Company, the lack of Davies goes for Guerrero on the left back, and instead of Lima, he went for Sacha Boey, giving him those play time. The rotation is happening, but what about Thomas Muller? Because Company has got those 3 big games this month: Leverkusen, Frankfurt, Stuttgart. But Thomas Muller hasn't been given those playtime this season. Olise going for Harry Kane. No, he goes for Pavlovic, mid of the pitch. Guerrero outside the box takes a curl. Olise, man, that header from Olise. Olise is looking tired, boys. Olise is looking tired because Olise has played those 20 matches this season, and every time he has been on the starting lineup, most of the times from Vincent Company. And now it is 75 minutes on the watch, but Mikel Olise is looking in need of some fresh legs. Mikel Olise is in need of some fresh legs. He is looking bit exhausted. Vincent Company has to make his decisions. He can't afford to keep those I mean, with this lack of energy on the pitch, but he is still relying because he has got those two goals in the previous leg from Olise. At least one more goal, and he will look to drop down Olise to the sidelines. That is what is happening. When you talk about this substitution which happened, it is there on the watch. You can get a watch of it. It is Lama who has got those substitutions and Sachaboy. This is what has happened from Vincent Company's man. Only Lama getting those substitutions. Apart from that, no other substitution. He has to give his players those rest moments. It is Lama on the edge of the box, passes that to Olise. Olise is inside the box, getting some creativity. Kimmich takes that shot, but that shot from Kimmich wasn't that lethal. It wasn't that lethal to get a goal into it. I mean, why Stanisic is not giving those playtimes? It's just that one goal. Goretzka, Muller, Leroy Sané. I mean, these players can be called into the pitch. They have got those muscle memories. I mean, you have to get those players the rest moment as well. At times, which Vincent Company does, I really find it that what is the reason why it is happening. It might be the training time where the players haven't got those performances. But what about Thomas Muller? Why isn't he being given those chances? Whereas it is Harry Kane staying on to those 78 minutes. You have got those three big matches as well this month, and if you get any sort of injuries, that will be lethal. That will be a big blow. There are worries. I mean, Bayern in the previous season as well, talking about the injuries, had caused it happen, losing the Bundesliga. And this season also there were injuries, but they have done it good, at least in the Bundesliga this season. Now it is Vincent Company going to make those changes. Finally, it is Vincent Company who is going to make those changes. Upamecano getting those header deflections. Oh my god, that is a chance being given away. But Manuel Neuer, he was at the right moment. That was a chance which Upamecano could have got and considered. But Manuel Neuer was right at that pitch, getting a safe touch to it. I mean, Dux is that player who is staying on the forwards for Werder Bremen. It is Kingsley Coman making those runs. No, Musiala passes that. But Kingsley Coman, the likes of Olise are looking in need of fresh legs. Kingsley Coman, Mikel Olise are looking in need of fresh legs. Talk about Pavlovic. He is also that young player on the pitch. Definitely, he would also be needing some sort of replacements. Vincent Company can't afford to get those injuries. 80 minutes on the watch. Still going with that. One substitution so far. Look at that. That is what I am saying. Werder Bremen are now getting close to the box because the need of the fresh legs is what that is a throw awarded for Werder Bremen. Kimmich is asking the referee to. It is Kimmich asking the referee to that it wasn't that a throw to it. Substitutions coming, guys. Thank God. Substitutions coming. Pavlovic called off to the pitch of the sidelines. Goretzka coming in. And yes, it is Kingsley Coman getting those substitutions as well. It is those substitutions which has been counting, and it is the likes of Leroy Sané and Goretzka coming onto the pitch. The two substitutions which has been made. I mean, to talk about this lineup, just have a look at it. It is the two substitutions, Goretzka and Leroy Sané coming onto the pitch. And it is Harry Kane who has got a goal, Pavlovic, as well as the likes of Kingsley Coman just moving on to the sidelines. That is Vincent Company's decision on the 80th minute. That is a bit late into it. That is a bit late into it. Check out these substitutions, guys. It is the substitutions which has been made. Sane coming in for Koman and Goretzka coming in for Pavlovic. The two aspects which Vincent Company has so far got in this game, apart from Konrad Lama. It is Leroy Sané into the box. Will he get a touch to it? Yes. Big moment for Leroy Sané. I want that piece of left leg meat to get more goals. I want Leroy Sané to get those big numbers counting. It is his sixth goal of the season. Leroy Sané, 3 assists, 6 goals. Now is he looking good? He has got those late comebacks this season because of his injuries. He got those late few starts. Leroy Sané is that man. He has got those aggressions. He just what it is needed is the lack of his peace and concentration. Musiala created that goal. It was for Lama making those runs. Leroy Sané digs some tricky moments inside the box, making some cut-in runs, but finally he goes for those wide spaces. That was Werder Bremen, poor man marking. 2 men were there against Leroy Sané, but both of them tried to go for those aggressive press. And that was a space which Leroy Sané got it. And Lama placing it at the right pitch. The flags were not raised, and that big leg meat, Leroy Sané, he has got those decisions with Vincent Company as well at Manchester City. Now has got that second goal for Bayern. And it is that sixth goal which Leroy Sané has got. It is his sixth goal of the season and 3 assists. To be precise about the likes of Leroy Sané much, to talk about him, we can get a definite result out of it. Yes, it is that goal which Leroy Sané has been confirmed. A big one. Now definitely Vincent Company must go for the other substitutions. He needs to get those players those rest moments. This long season, these rests are definitely a need. That is Goretzka getting a yellow card. Oh my god, why Goretzka? This is that long season. You have to be good on the pitch. Goretzka getting that yellow card, that is not the word for. But he won't miss that next match. Leon Goretzka with that yellow card will definitely not miss the next match. Yes, we had a discussion of Leroy Sané. I'm talking about his profile this season. He has got 6 goals, and to be precise, my mistake. It wasn't that 3 assists, it is that 2 assists which he has got. And out of those 201 games for Bayern from 2020 till date, 55 goals. At City, he played 135 games, 39 goals. At Schalke, he got 57 games and 13 goals. He has got those goals, he has got those experiences. It is that lack in form. He has got those 16 matches, 9 games started. Out of those 16 matches, 5 goals. That is not worth those attackers in your team could get, out of those 16 matches, a score of 7 to 8 goals would have been a decent one, but he is short of those 2 goals. Thomas Muller on the sidelines celebrating that with Manuel Neuer. That is another moment on the pitch. 2 legends just hugging each other for that second goal which Leroy Sané got. And it is also Vincent Company now seen celebrating because it is those 6 minutes. It is those 6 minutes for this first half to end. But Still, Vincent Company not going for those substitutions. I mean, why is he not bringing in Stanisic? Because in the previous fixture, I mean, Bayern, that was a big collapse in the stoppage time. Holstein Kiel getting those 3 goals, that was a big one. I mean, Bayern just cheaply considered those 3 goals in the previous fixture against Holstein Kiel. That was definitely not the watch. That was definitely not the watch. Kimmich passes that to Goretzka. Goretzka staying on those centre backs. Yes, that is what. Goretzka, Minje Kim, Upamecano staying on those centre backs. Kimmich, Harry Kane not getting those tackles good enough. Block from Kimmich. Kimmich is making those interceptions looking good. But Werder Bremen from their creativity are not happening. They are losing it so cheaply on their final thirds. Musiala feeding it. 87 minutes, 30 seconds on the watch. Musiala has got that ball glued to his legs. Harry Kane, Guerrero, Guerrero trying to get those cheeky peeky passes for Leroy Sané. But that was an interception. Kim passes to Kane, back to Neuer. Neuer doing that risky, passing that to Upamecano. Look at that pass from Neuer. Oh my god, how he dares. Manuel Neuer is that legend who dares to get those passes so good at those scary moments. He has got those big muscle memories. He has got those big play times. And he is that backbone support for Bayern for those long 12 years. I mean, Manuel Neuer, to talk about him, he has been that big backbone support on the defensive aspects, making those big saves. I mean, to talk about Manuel Neuer, Bayern definitely relies he has got those 547 games, 2011 to 2025, 15 years at a stretch he is playing. Oh my god. Manuel Neuer is definitely a legend at the goalkeeping positions for Bayern. 547 goals. I mean, it is one of the highest which he has got. He has got also those big Champions League wins. In his tally, it is finally Stanisic coming onto the pitch. Good movement from Vincent Company. That is what is needed, but it would have been a bit early. It should have been a bit early onto the pitch. That should have been a bit early on the pitch. It is those moments, Stanisic coming on to the pitch and replacing Guerrero. We have to see Stanisic perform. We have to see Stanisic perform. He needs those playtime because there are 3 big games. This February month, the fixtures will talk a lot about the Bundesliga, who is going to be at the top. It is Leverkusen. The second leg, it is Frankfurt, it is Stuttgart. Leresani inside the box, get those curls, dribbles. He gets a fall. The referee says the game to continue. No foul in it. Olise finally getting those cheapy interceptions on the trick. Leroy Sané back passes to Olise. Back heel from Sané. Sané is trying to get some aggressive movement on the pitch, but not getting his first touch that efficient. Kimmich, Harry Kane dropping down. Goretzka. Stanisic staying high up on those left midfields. Neuer, Kimmich, Lama. 90 minutes are up. 5 minutes of added time. Can we get those third goal, boys? Get those 3 goals and that big win incoming. Goretzka, Kim, Kim passes to Kimmich. Olise, that is a back drop down touch to Lima. And it is Bayern trying to get Werder outnumbered in that box. Olise gets that creativity. Lima, how could you miss that, boy? What a creativity that was from Olise. My God, it was just Lima one-on-one against Zetterer. But Lima got his legs just stuck to each other and he couldn't make those decisions of getting those shots or whether he is going to get those passes to be made. But look at that creativity from Olise. He took advantage of those exhausted players of Werder and he passes it so good between their legs. It was for Lama to get those third goal. Musiala trying to go for a cross. No, it was Stanisic. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that cross being made. I mean, Lama just got his legs glued to each other and couldn't take a shot, or there was some sort of decisions which were lagging in his mind, that whether he is going for a shot, whether he is going for a chip one, whether he is going for a boom, or whether he is going for a back pass. And he just completely lost it against Zatterer. No threat was that one. That is again a header coming in from Harry Kane to the first post. Opportunities. Bayern are looking for those third goal opportunities which they have to take it. Bayern have to get that third goal out of it. I mean, to talk about the stats to be precise on this game, it is a corner which Bayern are now enjoying it. That is a corner being taken wide. Little Lise. Musiala gets it. Musiala got that, but no threat for it. I mean, look at the stats of this game. 19 shots, 11 on target. To be talking, it is definitely one of those good instances. It is that final substitutions which has been made. It is Stanisic who is seen on the pitch, and on the stats, definitely Bayern have been looking it so good. We will have a discussion of it a bit later, but let us just connect this. Will Bayern go for their third goal? It is 94 minutes on the watch. Just 1 minute of time left in the stoppage time. Olise, Kimmich for Musiala. Musiala trying to exploit the box. Yes, he is dribbling past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. Man. Finally, Musiala gets a fall on the pitch. Oh my God, Musiala gets that fall on the pitch. And it was definitely not a penalty being given because the referee points for a goal kick. I think with that, the game will come to an end. 95 minutes are up. 5 minutes of stoppage time are also over. Yes, that is a penalty being given, I think. I think that is a penalty being awarded. No, the referee on the pitch, Storen Stocks, is talking to the VAR officials about that tackle. Yes, that is a tackle being made by their number 3, Jung again. He just gets a tackle with his left foot to Musiala and Musiala gets that fall. Make that decision, boy. Yes, look at that. Musiala, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, 5 players inside the box. He gets that dribble so good. and finally gets a fall inside the box. It is those decisions which has to be made whether that is going to be a penalty or not. Still those VAR check going on the pitch. Those VAR being just taken and the referee is getting it converted. Yes, that is a penalty being given. That is definitely a penalty being given. And it is that second penalty which Harry Kane is going to enjoy. It is 96 minutes 47 seconds. Harry Kane takes that penalty again on the same spot, and Zetter again makes that same jump on his left. Harry Kane getting his second goal with that second penalty. The first penalty which Harry Kane got was bit clinical, and it was also Jung who considered it. And again in this, it was the likes of Musiala getting those dribbles, and finally Jung again going for those tackles, and he gets those penalties awarded for him. What a good moment that is. The referee now has blown the whistle, and it has come to an end of the second leg between Bayern and Werder Bremen. What a game which Bayern showed with those creativities. I mean, to talk about this, Bayern getting those 3 goals, it is definitely the table which is going to be counting. Because to be precise about it, I mean, in these stats, if we take a watch of it, just look at it, it was Bayern so critical in it. They got those 21 shots, 12 on target. I mean, it was decent from the previous meeting. 2 shots by Werder, 75% by Bayern, 25% by Werder, 911 passes by Bayern. That was a big position which they have exploited. More than 800 passes. That is lethal. And in the Bundesliga table, to be precise about it, it is Bayern who has got those 3 goals win. I mean, the table hasn't yet been updated. Yes, it is those 21 games which Bayern has played in the Bundesliga table. 54 points they have accumulated. 46 is the goal difference. 65 goals Bayern have scored. 19 is they what have conceded. It was those 3 goals cheap which they considered in the previous fixture. Otherwise, it would have been just 6 goals. 1 loss, 3 draws, 17 wins. Big stats for Vincent Company. Bayern with these stats, it was back in the year 2014-15 again. I mean, with the reigns of Guardiola, where they got those big wins in the Bundesliga. But in the Champions League, Bayern have to talk about big. Werder Bremen, on the other hand, has got 30 points on the 8th position in the table, 21 games being played, 8 wins, 6 draws, 7 losses, 34 they have goals scored, and 39 they have considered. A goal difference of -5. Werder Bremen in worries. But for today's game, the strikers which were there, I mean, this was the big moment which Bayern had. I mean, what is that? Werder and Bremen, that was good. No, that is not the need. Yes, it is Harry Kane looking on the score sheet with those 2 penalties, scoring 8 goals, scoring at the same position, and it was Leroy Sané after those substitutions, getting those cheeky-peeky movements inside the box, getting those passes against Werder Bremen and scoring a big win for Bayern, and in the Bundesliga table, staying 9 points ahead of Leverkusen, but Leverkusen still has a game to come up. And to talk about the fixtures of Bayern, that is definitely a big call for it. That is definitely a big call for it, because Bayern with this lineup in the upcoming fixtures, they have got big worries. They have got big worries because Bayern in the upcoming fixtures, they have got the Champions League, that is a lucky cheeky peeky draw which they got Celtic, and that is an away game. Bayern will be traveling to Celtic Park on the first leg, February 13th, the first leg being played. That is the upcoming fixture for Bayern and Leverkusen. They will face at the Bay Arena. Leverkusen at home will face Bayern. Two away games for Bayern. One of the Champions League first leg away game. Leverkusen, they will play in the Bundesliga away game. Then that is the third fixture where Bayern will face at the Allianz Arena against Celtic, the second leg. Again, a home for Bayern against Frankfurt in the Bundesliga, but again Stuttgart in the Bundesliga. That is on the March 1st. That is a away game. So upcoming in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fixtures, Bayern have got 3 away and 2 home, with the likes of Leverkusen, with the likes of Frankfurt, with the likes of Stuttgart doing so good in the Bundesliga, and also Celtic for those 2 legs. Leverkusen are at the second spot of the table, Frankfurt at the third, and Stuttgart are at the 5th spot. That is all from our end for this game of Bayern against the likes of Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga. This is the round 21, which was ongoing, and Bayern clinching those big wins. But apart from that, it was also Paris Saint-Germain against Monaco, which is happening in the League One, round 1, 70 minutes into the watch, and PSG are 3 up against Monaco. Parc des Princes in the table, if we talk about, Paris Saint-Germain are at the top spot, but Monaco with this defeat will drop down to the 3rd spot. Monaco has been doing it good. Monaco really has been doing good in the French league, and they are also in the Champions League. Their last Champions League game was a 3-0 humiliation against Inter. That was away from Monaco. And next they are facing Benfica for the upcoming 2 fixtures. Monaco will face Benfica, whereas PSG will face Brest in the upcoming Champions League fixtures. That is Monaco getting 1 goal and PSG with those 3 goals leading it on the 70th minute. And also that is Manchester United and Leicester City. The game is ongoing. Manchester United's, Ruben Amorim and Van Nistelrooy's Leicester City. That is irony, because Van Nistelrooy is getting Leicester City, has got Reed 42 minute getting those equalizers, whereas my mistake, it was Ruben Amorim's man Ziggy getting those equalizers against Leicester City. Van Nistelrooy's team getting those first goals against United. Man, that is also the another big happening which is there in the FA Cup round 4. Do you guys want me to take a watch of it as well? Because Van Nistelrooy may getting those Leicester City on the watch. Let us bring those lines. Yes, it is Manchester United 1, Leicester City 1, still ongoing. But I don't think we will be able to make those watch along right now, because apart from that FA Cup round 4, it is FC Porto and Sporting CP, which is also ongoing. Liga Portugal round 21, and FC Porto, oh my god, Porto are down by 1 goal, and Martin and Slamy, their manager, against Rui Borges. Sporting CP with their new manager Borges has got their first goal, and in the lineup Facenda on the 42nd minute has got those goals. But there is no likes of Gyökeres in the first lineup. Gyökeres is in the substitutions to be made. Borges hasn't brought the likes of Victor Gyökeres in the squad. Their lethal man, he is still left. But Sporting CP are 1 up against FC Porto. 55 minutes of the gameplay that it is. That is all from my side, and I'm all exhausted. I need a good sleep. Upcoming in our fixtures, we will be having the watch, to be precise, I mean, in the fixtures, if we have it, Como and Juventus, it is also ongoing. Juventus are 2 up. Colomwani, that new man at Juventus, have been scoring, but from Juventus, to be precise, from my side, it is definitely the likes of Ildiz. I love that player. Ildiz back at Bayern. Ildiz is that man who went to Juventus at the Alliance and he was at the Bayern under 19 Academy. I want Ildiz, that player, back at Bayern to be made. It is the likes of Vidovic who is also back, and I would definitely want Ildiz to be back on the squad. But for the next upcoming watch alongs, we have Dortmund and Stuttgart tomorrow. We will be having the watch along of that. It is Wolfsburg and Leverkusen as well. And apart from that, in the Serie A, it is the likes of Milan and Empoli. We will be having the parallel watch along of that Serie A and Bundesliga. It is tomorrow. The playlists are being created over there. But late night, it is the Rogi Blancos Real Madrid against Atletico. That is the big Madrid derby which is upcoming. And in this month, we will be having the derby of Alliance at the Bay Arena, Leverkusen against Bayern Munich. Two of the big games this month. Real Madrid facing the Atletico Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu for the second leg, and Leverkusen facing Bayern for their second leg. But apart from that, Real Madrid also has got those two big epic matches against Manchester City, Pep Guardiola. What is that going to happen for this month? Because this month of February is definitely cause those Valentine's moment in the pitch of football to happen. That is all from my side. Stay tuned, guys. Bayern meaning it big. Mia and Mia. And yes, tomorrow it is the likes of Dortmund coming on against the likes of, again, in the likes of Bundesliga. But late in the night, it is the Los Blancos Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid. Do stay tuned it and join our social media platforms for all the cheeky picky links, and as well as the playlist for the different leagues across the globe, the Premier League, the Champions League, the Bundesliga, the Serie A, as well as the likes of La Liga. Everything is being covered. Do stay tuned to it, and yes, I will take a rest as of now. Bye guys, keep cooling and good night. Mia San Mia.